Everything in crypto is down right now, but the official Trump coin, right, the meme token issued by the US president, it's down even more. Now, does it make sense to buy when there is blood in the streets? Does it make sense to be contrarian here? In this video, we're going to look at data most people are not considering. Now, we are currently at $13.07. We are down more than 50% in the last month, while Bitcoin over the same time period only lost 11%. The initial hype that we had around the meme coin has pretty much died down. There were a lot of purchases of the official Trump meme token, but those purchases, especially by retail, they have come to a halt. What we see over here are the purchases made for the Trump token through Moonshot. Now, what is Moonshot? Moonshot is the portal to buy the Trump meme coin directly via debit card. So if you don't want to buy via crypto, if you're not that much of a crypto native, you just want to get a piece of the pie, you simply just buy via Moonshot and debit card. This is what this chart over here shows. We had hours in the early days where more than $40 million worth of Trump token were bought via credit card. Now every hour we maybe get around $10,000 or so of trading volume, just a small fraction of what it once used to be. Now, in crypto, it's all about being early. We have to buy before other purchasers come after us. Now, this can be in the form of Bitcoin, when we are at the maximum depression, but can also be in terms of meme coin trading, simply buy very quickly after launch. On this channel, I published a video on the official Trump token very early. And that video did get a lot of attention. The video alone generated 853 subscribers. That's way more than the average video on this channel. The video was published when we were at very similar prices to today, at $12.93. But times were very different back then. This is the long-term Trump chart. And over here, this is when the first video on Trump was published. So this is when we still got more than a 400% gain to the top. It's all about being early. It's about catching those trends when nobody else is looking. And then, of course, also taking profit. Now the trend is very different, right? We are just continuing to bleed further and further down. But maybe this will end at some point, right? When are we going to potentially find a bottom in the Trump token? Now, I try to be early on this channel, right? This is true for the buying phase when we're just developing a trend, but it's also true for profit taking. We have to sell before others sell. So if you don't want to miss those future videos, feel free to subscribe here. Now, this was the Trump US dollar chart. We can also have a look at this relative to Solana. And what's interesting here is that we actually did not see any underperformance since the beginning of February. So of course, people at the beginning took profit, but in the last 25 days, we didn't see Trump doing worse than Solana. Everything is going down. Solana is going down as well, but Trump didn't necessarily do worse. Now, at the face of it, this might be counterintuitive, but actually it's not, because it's not just the purchases through credit card that went down. It's also the trading volume on the decentralized exchanges. And a lot of the Trump liquidity is coupled with Solana. So Solana goes down by 10%, then automatically Trump token also goes down by 10%. If there are, however, very few transactions, not a lot of buying, not a lot of selling, then Trump is simply just going with the market as a whole. Have a look at the number of recurring traders and first-time traders over time. It seems like now it's mainly recurring traders, potentially automated bots that are trading Trump on chain. On the right side, we see the number of token transactions per day. In general, the trend is down, so it seems like the asset continues to cool off. What we see over here is the daily trading volume by segment since token launch. We see that over time, medium-sized retail takes over more and more of the trading volume. So this is the wallets that have between $1,000 and $10,000 worth of the token. The whales and large retail tend to trade the token less and less. And so here's the token ownership of small retail versus the large whales. So to be counted for the chart on the left, a wallet has to hold at least 100 Trump tokens. So at the current price, that's roughly $1,000 worth of the token. To be counted for the chart in the middle, it's $10,000. To be counted for the chart on the right, it's $100,000. It seems like the selling pressure has pretty much subsided, but so has the buying pressure. So there's simply just inactivity. And so here is how I see the macro picture. It looks like over time, more and more capital is flowing into Bitcoin because people start to understand that most altcoins tend to underperform Bitcoin most of the time. On top of that, we've also got two kinds of capital inflows. We've got the inflows through the Bitcoin ETF. We've also got the inflows through the centralized exchanges. Traditional finance or Wall Street isn't getting much more crypto exposure besides Bitcoin. They're simply just focusing on BTC. And so that's then what's causing this chart here. And this is the Bitcoin dominance, a very long-term chart starting in 2016. Sometimes Bitcoin is a lot of all of crypto, and sometimes the altcoins rally a lot and Bitcoin underperforms. So when this is crashing down, this means we've got an altcoin season. Isn't it interesting how altcoin season tends to happen when Bitcoin's dominance is above 70%? So it tended to peak at around 73%. Currently, the Bitcoin dominance is only at 61%, and we are growing slowly over time, again, mainly fueled by the ETF and by people just getting tired of active trading. Have a look at the return of altcoins in the last 90 days. Most altcoins did not do that well. The question is, at what point here do we see Bitcoin? The answer is Bitcoin is at place number 26. So only 25 out of 100 altcoins outperformed Bitcoin. All the others, so 74, underperformed Bitcoin. When we look at the numbers for the last year, it's very similar. There's only 20 altcoins that outperformed Bitcoin. So again, most altcoins tend to do worse than Bitcoin over time. Really, there are two ways to make money in crypto. Either we try to find the needle in the haystack, right? The one altcoin that does a multiple X return. And during a bull market, this can be a viable strategy, especially if we've got a lot of on-chain analytics. But during a market that is not expanding that quickly anymore, it's a very, very dangerous game to play. The second approach, and the much less common approach, is to get the odds in our favor, not against our favor. So we don't try to find the 25% that outperform. We just bet on the 75% to continue to underperform. So we bet on falling prices of altcoins that we think are especially weak. For example, here, right? I've shown this several times on this channel. This is the Balancer altcoin. So that's a decentralized finance token relative to Bitcoin. And this is a very constant underperformance, and we can make money with that underperformance. In the last year, Balancer underperformed Bitcoin by 75%. This can be alpha. We can make money 75% in a year when we bet on Balancer doing worse than BTC. The reason for the underperformance is of course tokenomics, and this is why most altcoins do so poorly. Over time, the early investors and the team gets token unlocks, right? They get more and more allocation that they can then sell. And of course, after a while they do sell, right? After years of development and after years of waiting, they do sell the allocation, and that then makes those altcoins do worse compared to Bitcoin. Of course, when all of crypto is going up, then the altcoins go up as well in US dollars, but they don't go up more than BTC. That's why we see this long-term underperformance. And so I made various tutorial videos on that approach, right? On not trying to find the one lottery ticket, on simply just compounding money high and consistent over time. So this is how to win in bear markets by shorting altcoins. There are more than 100 tutorial videos in total. This is all part of premium. It's not just all about betting on falling prices. It's also about risk management. It's also about portfolio allocation. It's also about on-chain analytics. So feel free to check it out. It's currently $125 US per month, and there's also a 1-week money back guarantee. So in case you don't like premium, just message me within the first 7 days. Feel free to binge watch all the videos. Message me after 7 days, and if you did not get enough value out of it, I'll refund you 100%. Really, zero questions asked. There's zero risk for you. Looking forward to seeing you again here on YouTube. Feel free to also give this video a like. It helps the channel grow, and of course, see you also in premium. Cheers.